In the last class, we have studied statistical law of radioactivity. It states that minus dN by dt directly proportional to n. So, by solving it, we will get n equal to n naught e to the power minus lambda t. In the last class, we have derived this equation. Now, next we will go for decay constant. So, from these two definitions, we can define lambda. From the first definition, lambda equal to mod of dN by dt divided by n. So, decay constant is defined as rate of disintegration at any instant divided by total number of radioactive nuclei present at that instant. Now, from the second definition, when T equal to 1 by lambda, then n equal to 1 by E times n naught. So, we can define lambda as it is the reciprocal of the time after which the number of radioactive nuclei reduces to 1 by E times of its initial value. Next, we will go for half-life. T half or T. So, what is the meaning of half-life? Let initially radioactive nuclei, the number of radioactive nuclei initially is N0. Now, the time after which the number of radioactive nuclei becomes half, that is called T half or half-life of radioactive nuclei. So, we have the equation n equal to n naught e to the power minus lambda t. At t equal to t half, n becomes n naught by 2. Now, from this equation, we can write n naught by 2 equal to n naught e to the power minus lambda t half. So, 1 by 2 equal to e to the power minus lambda t half, or 2 equal to e to the power lambda t half. Now, taking ln on both sides, ln 2 equal to lambda t half. So, t half becomes ln 2 by lambda. Now, ln 2 is 0.693. So, t half is 0.693 by lambda. So, we can say t half inversely proportional to lambda. So, what is half-life? The time after which number of radioactive nuclei reduces to half of its initial value. So, at t equal to t half, the number of radioactive nuclei n becomes n naught by 2. So, by solving, we will get t half equal to 0.693 by lambda. Or we can write lambda into t half equal to 0.693. Next, we will go for average life or mean life, that is tau or t average. So, what is average life? It is defined as sum of lifetimes of all nuclei divided by total number of nuclei. So, it is equal to integration of TdN divided by integration of dN. Now, n equal to n naught e to the power minus lambda t. If we substitute this, we'll get tau equal to 1 by lambda. So what is average life? Reciprocal of decay constant. Average life is the reciprocal of decay constant, or we can write tau into lambda equal to 1. Now, if we have to find the relation between tau and t average, t half. So t half equal to 0.693 by lambda. So we can write t half equal to 0.693 times tau, or tau equal to 1.44 times t half. This is the relation between half life and average life. Any doubts? Now, stability. Stability of a radioactive nuclei is directly proportional to its half-life or mean life, or it is inversely proportional to decay constant. So, a radioactive nuclei is more stable if it has a larger half-life or smaller decay constant. More the half-life or more the mean life, stability of nucleus is more. If lambda is more, T half is less, then nucleus is less stable. So stability is measured in terms of half-life. Then we'll go for activity or radioactivity. Both are same thing. Activity is measured in terms of number of decays per second. So, A equal to number of radioactive decay per second. So, we know that rate of disintegration is minus dN by dt. So, A equal to, we can write it is mod of minus dN by dt. It is equal to lambda n. So, A equal to lambda n. Now, n equal to n naught e to the power minus lambda t. Now, lambda n naught. This is the initial activity. We can write it as A naught. So, A equal to A naught e to the power minus lambda t. With A naught equal to lambda n naught. This is called initial activity. Next, units of activity. So, first unit is 1 becquerel. 1 becquerel equal to 1 decay per second. The next higher unit is 1 Rutherford. 1 Rutherford is 10 to the power 6 decay per second. So we can write it is equal to 10 to the power 6 becquerel or 1 mega becquerel. The next higher unit is 1 Curie. 1 Curie equal to 3.7 into 10 to the power 10 decay per second. So these are the units of radioactivity. And the dimension of activity is m to the power 0, L to the power 0, T to the power -1. Next, we'll go for nuclear reaction. So, the general form of nuclear reaction is A plus T gives rise to P plus B plus Q. Here, A is the projectile, T is the target nucleus, P, it is the product nuclei, B, it is the outgoing particle, Q, this is the energy value or called Q value of the nuclear reaction. So, a projectile particle is bombarded to a target nucleus. So, by absorbing this projectile particle, the target nucleus is unstable. So, it splits into one or more products with some outgoing particles and emit some amount of energy. So, this is the basic structure of a nuclear reaction. Now, this reaction is written as T A comma B P. That means a target nuclei bombarded with a projectile A gives a product P and there is an outgoing particle B. And this reaction is called A comma B reaction. Now, we'll define Q value. So, Q value equal to kinetic energy of products minus kinetic energy of reactants. It can be written as mass of reactants minus mass of products whole into C square, because in a nuclear reaction in general some mass can be converted into energy or some amount of energy is converted into mass. So there is a difference in mass of reactants and mass of products. This difference in mass of reactants and products, it is the mass defect. So Q value equal to mass defect delta M into C square, where this delta M is mass of reactants minus mass of products. Now, if delta M is in AMU, we know 1 AMU has energy equivalent of 931.5 mega electron volts. So, at that case, Q becomes delta M in AMU into 931.5 mega electron volt. This will be the Q value. Now, Q value gives the energy involved in the reaction. If Q is positive, that means energy is released. So, the reaction will be exothermic or exergic. If Q value is positive, then energy is released from the reaction. So, the reaction is exothermic or exergic. Similarly, if Q is negative, that means energy is absorbed. So, the reaction is endothermic or endorgic. So, from Q value, we can predict what amount of energy is involved in the reaction and the energy is released or energy is absorbed. That means if Q is positive, the reaction will be exothermic. If Q is negative, the reaction will be endothermic. Next, conservation laws. So, which quantities are conserved in a nuclear reaction? First, number of nucleons is conserved. So, mass number is conserved. So, in a nuclear reaction, number of nucleons is conserved. That means mass number in reactant side must be equal to mass number in product side. Second, charge is conserved. That means atomic number is conserved. So, total charge in reactant side must be equal to total charge in product side. Third one, linear momentum is conserved. That means linear momentum of reactants before the reaction is equal to linear momentum of products after the reaction. Angular momentum is conserved. So, total angular momentum of reactants before nuclear reaction equal to total angular momentum of products after nuclear reaction. Total mass energy is conserved. So, kinetic energy of reactants plus equivalent energy of mass of reactants must be equal to kinetic energy of products plus equivalent energy of mass of products. So, these 5 quantities are conserved in a nuclear reaction. First one is number of nucleons, second one is charge, third one is linear momentum, fourth one is angular momentum, and last one is total mass energy. These 5 quantities are conserved in a nuclear reaction. Difference between nuclear reaction and chemical reaction. So, in nuclear reaction, atomic nucleus is involved. In chemical reaction, orbital electrons are involved. So, nuclear reaction is due to involvement of nucleus. Chemical reaction is due to involvement of orbital electrons. In nuclear reaction, new element may be formed. But in chemical reaction, no new element can be formed. Next, in nuclear reaction, the energy involvement or Q value is very high. It is in form of mega electron volt. But in chemical reaction, Q value is low in terms of few kilo electron volt only. So, what is the basic difference between nuclear and chemical reaction? In nuclear reaction, nucleus is involved. But in chemical reaction, it is due to involvement of orbital electrons or outermost electrons only. In nuclear reaction, new elements can be formed. But in chemical reaction, no new element can be formed. In nuclear reaction, the energy involved is very high. In chemical reaction, the energy involvement is very low.